Alright guys, the morning after the morning of elections 2025, right? I was sent some information yesterday by a friend, a contact, I think on the Guyana Business Commission, whatever they call themselves, the Guyana Business Bureau, something. They got two of them. One of them contacted me and he said, this is what it'll be. This is what it'll be. I was instructed as such. This is what it'll be. 33 PPP, 19 or 18 for Win, opposition leader for Azruddin, at least for Win, and 14 for Aubrey. Amanza got nothing, Nigel got nothing, Simona got nothing. That's how it'll be. You know, in that manner. That was a manner of speech. Right? I said, well, you got to be a madman. Your Public Sector Service Commission, whatever the bull crap name, full of bullshit. Because we all saw Win beating up the PPP. Right? In a handful of areas, they managed to win a couple of polling stations. Handful. Most times, Win was beaten up on PPP. Beaten up all over. We won Linden. When I say we, I mean Win. Win won Linden. We won all Boystown. We won Charlestown. We beat the PNC in their strongholds. In Linden, in Buxton, in Charlestown, in all Boystown. Right? Of course, beating the PNC in those areas means we beat the PPP as well. We beat the PPP in 1, in 2, in parts of 3. Win 7 in 9. All over. The SOPs are there. Thanks to 2020, everybody now knows about SOPs. We didn't know about them before, we know about them now. Everybody took pictures. I have all 2,300 SOPs, right? That were taken at polling stations by Guyanese who are now into SOPs, right? Because remember the PPP had the SOPs and Schumann had the SOPs and Anug, and the only people who didn't have SOPs was the PNC in 2020. And up to now, we haven't seen their SOPs for 2020 to prove their case, because it's now as such that you prove your electoral case with SOPs. Where your SOP there? Like then the PNC start talking about 2020, everybody say, where your SOPs there? Where your SOPs there? So SOPs is a big thing. So everybody now taking out SOPs. Everybody, as soon as they pass the polling stations, take out the SOP, they send to Melly Mel, send to Brian Max, they send to Kian Jabur, they send to Win. So SOPs are there. What we have to do now, I'm going to literally print out all 2,300 SOPs. I have some duplicates, so we have to go through and check. We can print all. I think we have 4,000 SOPs in all, which means we have 1,800 duplicates. So we got to go through and take the duplicates out. And we're going to literally sit down, print everyone. I'm going to pay for it. I got a big printer. I have a printing business. I'm going to print out all of the SOPs. And we're going to count the SOPs. Right? We're going to count them. We're going to count the SOPs. We're not arguing with nobody. This is not an argument. We're going to count our SOPs. And we shall present our final tally from the SOPs. This business at 33, 1940, this is a CIA Exxon operation. This is what they do in Africa, right? When they decide who will run the country. Unfortunately for the CIA and Exxon, this ain't Africa. And you got people like Brian Max, Kian Jabur, Amanza Waldron. I can't think of anybody else. I can't think of Aubrey. Got Aubrey. Aubrey ain't Aubrey, right? He's my friend, but he ain't Aubrey. Nigel, can't Nigel because Nigel got business, legal connections with businesses and Exxon and guys like Timmy, who we had in 2020, cannot speak on politics anymore because they have alignment to Exxon. These guys have all been bought by Exxon. Not bought out, but they've been paid for by Exxon, right? So we can't depend on Timmy Jonas for his views anymore in SU because Timmy Jonas is now an Exxon boy. One guy remained independent in it all. He didn't take a job with the government like what Yoke Mahadio did. He didn't take a contract with the government like Yoke Mahadio did. He didn't go on the Rice Marketing Board as a consultant. He didn't go become the aviation specialist and advisor to the president as Schuman did. Right? One banner. Brace yourself. Bear your chief. And remain independent. That one banner is Brian McIntosh. Yours truly, known as Brian Max on the internet. I ain't rich, but I know for bond my belly. I ain't want your money. I ain't want no public office. I ain't want no favors. I ain't calling you for nothing. Right? One time I called Jack Deere, said, I think I want to go on license. And that's because a man, they tell me that somebody is starting some stupidness on the road. And I only went passing a message on that I know it coming. And it didn't come because the person realized that I was pulling the strings of them. Right? So we got a situation, Guyana. We had elections, and now we haven't gotten the results yet. But the PPP boys are telling us, Jack Dio did it, and the other PPP people did it. Oh, they won 33 seats, majority. They won Region 4 of all places. Right? They won Region 4 of all places. Now, Region 4 is from Mahaica all the way down to Georgetown, all the way just outside of Moblissa on the Linden Highway. That is Region 4. It's a big area. It needs to be broken down. Over time, electorally, even if you don't change it as a region, you need to at least do sub-districts. Maybe 4 sub-districts. Maybe from Mahaica to Georgetown, 1. Georgetown sub-district. East Bank, somewhere going up. And then the final leg, Suicide section, A, B, C, and D for 4. Instead of being 1 big 4. Right? They need to fix it. It's too big a region. And it has too many people. It has over 200,000 voters. It's a big block. It's half of the country. So, we're hearing 33, 19, I think, and 14. Something like that. In no way the PPP get away with no big set of votes. Even if the PPP had managed to win because of their voting blocks in Berbice, Region 6, Region 5. Even if they had managed to pull away a little bit from win, because I don't think Win would have done really well in Berbice because they didn't campaign a lot in Berbice because of the fear factor generated by people like Indira Jaffarali and so attacking Azruddin whenever he went to Berbice. That scare tactic actually worked, and they Azruddin kept out of Berbice from campaigning. And by not campaigning, he didn't make the connection with the people as he did in Linden, in Lethem, and stuff like that, where he managed to go. So the scare tactic of the Indira Jaffaralis and other PPP people, the agents, it actually worked. And Win didn't do much work in Berbice. Even though they had a couple of meetings, yes, they did well in New Amsterdam at a big meeting they had there. I'm not sure if they did a rally. I wasn't invited to any of the rallies. I wasn't invited to any Win event in the last month. Right? One time I made a call. A guy called me. Nature Boy called me. He said, Max, we got to hustle. We got to do it. Protect us. We got to do it. I said, Nature, I don't want to tell you. But for the last month, I've been sidelined, sidetracked, put away by the PPP, by Win, right? They have look. What happened to you? What do you want me to do? Is you not see your own skin? I'm being attacked. I must go and beat him. He bothered me. I gotta go and beat him. He not see his skin. Look, another one here keeping noise. Let grandfather do this video out. They follow me all of the yard. Anyhow, this business of 3319, total hogwash. This is a fabrication of the business class, the status quo being protected, Exxon being happy with the PPP, the business boys who do well the 10%ers, the 5%ers who do all the business and get all the contracts. They don't want it, the Jack Mohans and them. They don't want this PPP to go away. Then you got to restart. You got to restart all over again. Right? You got to restart all over again and go back. Make new arrangements. They don't want to change. They want the status quo to remain the same. Exxon is happy with the PPP. They get them to take away all of oil for next to nothing. They're giving us pittance, and then we got to pay their taxes out of the pittance. And they're happy. Jack Dio is happy. He's not really going to negotiate in any contracts. So Exxon is happy with Jack Dio and the PPP. The people of Guyana, on the other hand, are not happy with Jack Dio and the PPP. The poor people especially are not happy with them. Right? And a lot of poor people have called me and said, Max, the thought of going through 5 more years under this hardship is too much. Too much. We feel like suicidal at this point. People are just tired and fed up. They're fed up of scraping up enough to just pay their rent and their mortgage, and maybe if they have a little car, they're tired. People, they need a break. The pressure too much. And then you look over the corner, and there are these Indian businessmen doing big contracts with the government, buying the biggest F-150s, buying the biggest fancy cars, biggest houses, slamming it in your faces like how they have critic doing it every morning. Slam it. Oh, you're stupid and backward if you're not making money. Yeah, you can't make money if you don't get money from the government or a contract. If you get a contract to suddenly guard 100 schools, use a big boy like Sheriff tomorrow. That is millions and millions of dollars you making. You pay your guards next to nothing, and you drive the biggest fancy vehicle like RK, right? RK is go to the cemetery. When people bury him, he's feel for pulse. He said, this man got a little bit of pulse. Can I revive him and make him a guard? And a lot of people just be happy that somebody reviving the family. They say, yes, sir, go right ahead. And RK is do a special thing. He's doing the hand. He revive you, bring you here. Put on this red outfit. Put on this thing here. In the raw. Fucking mad, man. He's my friend. Years ago, I went in Starlight driving, and he was in the veranda, and he disturbed me inside my van. Hollering, hey, you, my young man, what are you doing there to that young lady in that van? Why is she legs on the roof? I said, old man, rest yourself now. Watch the movie now. So since then, he had problems. He lived right next door. They ain't your business. In your van, them days we had tint. I had to put up a cloth to stop your eyes. So since then, I can't get a little issues. Anyhow, back to business. We're gonna do the SOPs. We can print them out, and we'll do the numbers, right? We ain't jumping the gun. I'm gonna print out the SOPs because it's a little hard to check them online. In a physical form and paper, it's gonna be a lot easier. So I'm gonna print out the SOPs, and we can do region by region. Like how I was supposed to do for the TV show that wasn't accepted the proposal and we ended up not doing it. We can actually do the TV show with it because I got the mix on the cameras and everything now. So we can actually do what we were supposed to do election night. We can do it now. We can print out. I'm going to ask any of the political people if you can assist by printing out your SOPs and cut my costs a little bit. I don't mind. I don't spend in excess of $1.5 million helping Azradin and this campaign. Anybody who been around the campaign will tell you, Max Trucker always got food, Max Trucker always got liquor inside. Well, not liquor, but drinks, soft drink, Coca-Cola, whatever, water, coconut, whatever. Always got something inside. You can come to my vehicle and get something. It's been like that. United Force Days, I did it the same way. I took care of the guys for elections when we were watching the containers. And as always, I make sure that my vehicle always got a cooler. In fact, I got 2 coolers inside of it now. So we can print out the SOPs and we'll present an alternative view. If it's alternative, if not, if it is so that they won, they won. If they didn't win, well, we'll have an issue with it. Right? So bear with us. Give me a day or 2 more. Let us see where this thing is going. Let's see the declaration from GCON, because remember they haven't declared anything yet. They're still playing. This is just a feeler. The boys are giving you a feeler. Jack Dio giving you a feeler to see what's the mood of the people. And if they need to adjust it, well, they will adjust it. But right now it's a feeler to see where it's going. Right? They might They might throw a little bone in for Nigel, and they might throw a little bone in for Manza, and they might throw a little bone in for Simona, the great Simona. I love Simona Brooms. I love Amanza. I think they're the two most amazing women in politics and in Guyana in general. Love them both, and they both know it. I tell them every time I see them. So guys, give me a couple of days. Give me like 24 hours. I've already started the printing process. I've already started getting rid of the duplicates, because they got a lot of duplicates that people send in. That one guy you saw online, he collected for Melly. I collected for Melly Mel. Melly Mel has been a fantastic source for SOPs. Melly Mel has been, I think I've gotten in excess of 200 from Melly. Melly Mel, thank you very much for taking this interest out and starting the SOP collection. Thank you very much, Melly. Once again, you have proven to be an invaluable source of good information for Guyana, and we can't thank you enough. So guys, let me clear one other thing up though. There's 19 seats where they plan to give Win and parliamentary. You know, I'm one of the in the top 5, top 6 people in Win, right? So naturally, my name would probably have to come up. If they're honest to themselves for the work that I did, my name would have to come up. And I would have to be given the option of deciding if I want to go to Parliament. No. I don't want to go to Parliament. I will remain where I am. Brian Max, Max Media, independent. I don't want your job. I don't want your money. I don't want anything. If you can give me back the money I spent on the campaign, my 1.5, maybe 1.4, I won't mind. And then we can shake hands and say thank you for meeting. It was nice to meet you. Later, Azruddin. Have a good life. Enjoy whatever it is that comes your way. No hard feelings. This is Brian Max, Max Media Guyana, saying keep it real. Love you, and the fight and struggle is not over. One man is still standing. Brian Max, as always. See you guys a little later. Bye-bye for now.